Well, it was actually, I was talking to another friend of mine, Gladys, another old girl, and she's actually said told me a joke. And it's not the greatest joke, but it sort of rings true. She said that, what was it? She was going out for a date with her husband, boyfriend, whatever.
Mm.
And she said, take me somewhere expensive, and he took her to the petrol station. That was the joke. But I guess I think I'm pretty convinced it's always been like that. I mean, you think about 50s cars and things like that, they've always sort of been gas guzzlers and
I wonder, just on the joke, I wonder if we will get to a point in time when the most expensive part of going to dinner will be going. I mean, you're not paying for the dinner, but getting there.
Well, you're not far off, are you?
Yeah, they can't be far away. Mind you, for some people, I'm a bit of an optimist, and I tend to think that the market reacts to these things perhaps slower than people want, but quick enough that the disaster doesn't befall us. But I mean, what is it? Nissan Renault have got a full electric car available for commercial purchase in the US. They're saying by 2010-11 or something like that, and in
right.
Europe and the rest of the world 2012. So,
well, it's just barrel rolling. Everything, you know, the prices just have barrel rolling.
Sure.
Mm. Yes, I don't know what's going on. It's all good, but you know, is it just going to get consistently worse until you know? Until such a time that you know.
No, look, people in times like this like to, you know, have their doomsday predictions, and I read one publication referring it to it recently as catastrophism. It's almost an ideology now, but I think as long as we're prudent and diligent, we can react and make things better. Well, I hope so anyway. You know, I make sweeping statements like that, Chris, without having any knowledge of scientific processes of global warming or anything, but it's optimism.
Well, I think the fact that, didn't they say in 10 years the polar caps at the North Pole are going to be completely gone?
Yeah.
How's that, hey?
Yeah, amazing.
Actually, to anyone that's listening out there in front of a computer, there's a Google Maps that someone's made that you can actually set the water level, so you can say the water level has risen by 2 meters, 3 meters, whatever, and it'll actually show you
really
a relayed map of sort of what's going to flood.
Wow. How about so
anyone on Google, have a look at that. I think Google Maps flooding or Google Maps water rising.
So is it sort of a shot from Google Maps as?
No, well, actually it's tied in, and then he's sort of overlaid it, but it works very, very well.
Right.
You know, you just think that that's sort of how it is.
And this will be what the world looks like once.
Yeah, no, well, that's exactly right. And it's kind of scary because, I mean, you sort of realise Australia, you think, okay, you know, it's pretty hilly, you know, we've got the odd couple of hills and that sort of thing. It's bugger all in the scheme of things.
Yeah.
You know, when it raises, and you can set it to up to 15 metres, I think, on this, and it just floods the whole thing.
Yeah.
But anyway, I digress. Back to our original topic, and just with the changing times and everything like that. I mean, it's another thing that I've noticed a lot with that. Josef, is it Josef Fritzl?
Fritzl, the Austrian.
Yeah,
this guy that kept his kids in the basement. Yeah.
Yep. Well, we call him Pedo Bear. That's what we call him.
Pedo Bear.
Pedo Bear. Yeah.
You have to explain the root of Pedo Bear for me.
It's just I guess it's a slang term for, I guess, a paedophile, because I mean he was having intercourse with the children as well as his daughter.
Yeah.
I just don't know that that's just you know.
Yeah, obscene.
It's a bit much. I mean, you know, you were probably the same as me. You know, we went out to play. You'd run down the road. Mum wouldn't see you till 3, 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And wouldn't think twice. You know.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because we get this dichotomy where parents are criticised these days not letting the kids go out and have exercise. There's obesity.
That's right.
But they said, you know, you can. I don't have kids myself, but I understand. You sit down and look at the news. You listen to radio, and people are talking about these kind of things going on. And all of a sudden it seems a little bit trivial, the fact that they might be putting on a little bit of extra weight.
Well, that's it. And you sort of, I assume you've got a partner of some kind.
Yes.
Mine tends to work quite a bit, and I find myself, and I guess it's maybe a sign of the changing times with regards to how we act with women. But you feel more obliged to be able to walk them, you know, from the train station to their place, drop them off at their place, make sure you know where they are and what they're doing. Like nothing too full on, but just so you know that they're safe.
Sure. Yeah.
You know, you can't even go out to to the pub or anything like that. You know.
Yeah, I must say I do get. I'm usually pretty not uptight about it, but I must say when my girlfriend goes out and is out on the town, and I know might be walking from one place to the other alone. Yeah, that doesn't. I don't like that happening too much.
Actually, I'll just someone's just given me the URL for that water levels.
Sure.
It's waterlevels.on.nimp.org.
Okay, going to repeat.
For anyone on the computer.
You want to repeat that one more time for people?
It's waterlevels, one word, .on.nimp.org.
Fantastic. Yeah, I'll have to check that one out.
Yeah, no, it's a good one. But anyway, back to yeah, it tends to be a dangerous place, and it's commonplace to see, things like date rape, and I think it's sort of died off a little bit with your date rape drugs and that sort of thing happening.
Yeah, people are a bit more aware now, I think.
Yeah, well, I think that's a good thing as well, because it's become common practice to sort of keep a look after your drinks and that sort of thing.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, people like that. That is one campaign that I think has worked.
That's right. Well, and that sort of thing, that's sort of the direction the government sort of needs to be realising.
Sure.
That we're now, and I'm not politically anyway. I think if someone can do a good job, they do a good job.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And of course, the critic's always the one to throw the first stone.
Yeah, that's right.
Or the sinner, if you're that way inclined.
Yeah.
But yeah. The whole alco pops and everything like that, that's completely over the top. That's just ridiculous.
No.
The kids are just going to find themselves in hard liquor, stronger, because they're just going out and buying the bottles. Buying a bottle of Lemon Party, or buying a bottle of, your Jim Beam or whatever else.
Yeah, that's right. I think people will be sick and tired of me tearing into that particular policy. I just think it was one of the most ridiculous pieces of policy I've ever seen.
I think, and I put this out there, for anyone that's listening that knows Kevin Rudd or anything like that, get hold of me. Tell him to give me a call, I'm on the consensus. I'm on, everything else.
Sure.
Yes. Give me a call, and I'll tell him a thing or two that he could probably actually use.
Well, you wonder, there must be other people out there telling him. I don't understand. It just seems so ill. It was a scattergun approach with one bullet, if I'll mix up, a couple of phrases. I think it was a shot in the dark, essentially. Why target that? I don't know. And I think to some extent, you mentioned earlier, the world's changing, more complex, more issues.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes governments say, what can we control? Let's target that. Let's make that the big issue. Things like plastic bags, things like alcohol. Because what do you do with interest rates? What do you do about global warming?
Well, what's going to happen? The kids are going to be running wild. Because I've noticed, I walk around in town, and there's just younger kids smoking and getting around, especially now in school holidays.
Mm.
Yes.
Yeah, that's right.
Everything's going to start closing. The other shops are going to close. The pool's going to close. And they're just going to. It's going to react. I think society's going to react. It's sort of going to put its foot down and say too much, no more, with the children and how they're acting as well.
Mm. Yeah, that's right. You only have to walk around Rundle Mall, and it's pretty confronting. Chris, we'll have to leave it there, mate. But
done and dusted, mate.
Thank you very much for your call. I hope we speak again next week.
Mate, you can count on it.
Beautiful. Thanks, mate.
Righto. Bye-bye.
The 5AA SAN